Sagittarius, Sagittarius. So 3 cards. What's the nature of this connection? What's bringing the two of you together? Okay, there's definitely very fast-paced energy around this connection here, starting off with the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands is fire energy, and he is seen as someone who is quite fast-paced or likes to rush things. Maybe not as much as what the Knight of Swords can represent, but look, in terms of infatuation and sexual chemistry, I definitely feel you're going to experience that. I want to say that the Knight of Wands, though, does get himself out of his comfort zone. You can see he's in this arid, hot climate here, fully clothed in his armor, and he doesn't look like he's struggling, okay? He actually looks like he's adaptable. He's adapting to the climate, to what he needs to do, to where he needs to be. So I feel like in one way there's a lot of adaptability in this connection, maybe. It could also be that the Knight of Wands, I mean, he's fairly reliable in the sense where he commits to things and he does them, okay? He knows what he needs to do, so he's deterministic. He's perseverant. So it could be a sign here that there is a person, this is a person who's going to be perseverant for you, or this is a relationship that'll keep on pushing through. And I like this. I think it represents uniformity. I think it represents that the both of you are in this together. If they're not a fire sign, maybe this is you here, Sagittarius, and you will be the carrier of this relationship. You might dictate a lot in this connection, in this relationship. So that could be coming up with the Knight of Wands energy as well. But there could also be travel and adventure and lust, and I feel like these things could be quite big in the relationship. You might be doing a lot of activities and keeping active. It could also be a sign here that this person wants to keep things interesting and wants to keep that spark and that high energy, and maybe that's what's going to be required to keep them, Sag, which you definitely can provide. You know, wonderful energy, good times, openness. All these attributes I feel like are going to come in very, very handy for this person, and I think they're very much going to appreciate that about you. Let's move on to the Knight of Swords. Now this is the more, I mean, they're both knights that represent fast, high-paced energy. The Knight of Swords can be a little bit irrational because he's anxiety-ridden. He's plagued by anxiety or the need for reassurance, mental clarity. So he's quick to jump to conclusions. He's quick to judge. He's quick to jump into things. He is a bit risky. His behavior is a bit risky. You can see how fast he travels, the horse looking back at him, you know, unsure, hesitant. He doesn't really take in and smell the roses because he's always on the move. He's always doing something. And sometimes that can distract or take away from the relationship. So it's important you allow yourself to feel the things that you're feeling in this connection and give space for this person to feel them as well, and not take away from any sort of experience that's happening around you type thing. So I think that's very, very important. It could show that there is things that take place in the relationship or things that will be said. It's more to do with mentality, thinking, and communicating with the swords. But it could definitely represent there's a lot of thinking, there's a lot of speaking before thinking. Okay, there's either lack of filter or there'll be a lot of things said in this relationship that won't be backed up. Okay, and I want you to remember that behavior, this is just like Psychology 101, behavior speaks louder than words ever will. And it's about someone's actions. And people show you who they are. You will see who this person is through their actions. But what they say won't necessarily match up with their actions. Or Sagittarius, this could even be you. What you say won't necessarily match up with your actions. So I want you to assess. I want you to come into this relationship looking at your actions and thinking about why you do the things you do or why you don't do the things you haven't done, and what that really says, what the symbolism and the meaning here is. I don't want you to drive yourself crazy over analyzing everything, because that'll turn you into that Knight of Swords, and it can be destructive at times, okay? But if it's not that, it could show that the two of you get on fairly quickly mentally. Like, you have a lot to talk about. You can cover a large range of topics in a short period of time. But sometimes communication could be rushed and not enjoyed as much, okay? So it's important not to rush. I think that's the major thing that's coming up around this relationship, is not to rush anything, and just to keep it more slow paced, I suppose. So that's, that could be something of value here. You also have the Three of Cups in this relationship, which I love, because it shows that there's a lot of acceptance and encouragement, and I feel like you might be received quite well from this person's family or friends or social circle or colleagues. I think they'll definitely take a liking to you, Sagittarius, because they'll see that you could potentially be a good match, or they'll see, it'll be evident to them of the compatibility there. So I also feel like this could be vice versa. Okay, this could be reversed, and your person will be accepted by your family and your friends. And I feel like there's a socialness here. I feel like you might make a new group of friends in this relationship, but I feel like the Three of Cups really represents bondship. And on a deeper level, because cups represent emotion, they're all about emotion. And this is celebrating emotion. So I feel like there'll be a lot to celebrate with this person. There'll be a lot of good times. There'll be a lot of harmony. I definitely feel there's a very strong attachment happening here, but it's not an attachment where we feel clingy, or we feel too much, or, we feel too tied down to this person. We feel bogged down by them. It's not in that regard, Sag. It's more of a healthy bondship that you're going to have with this person here. It is water energy, so the fact that that's come up in the reading, you do have fire, air, and water. So you really have this relationship will come to encompass a lot, especially emotionally. It's going to be quite emotionally rewarding. I do sense that the case. I do sense that that's the case. You could also be creating a lot. These three could be seen as the three fates. Okay, the muses in Greek mythology, and they each were assigned a role to I guess, plan out the fate of each person born into the mortal realm. So the fact that has come up here says to me, fate is at play in this relationship. Okay, it might not be the Wheel of Fortune, it might not be the lovers that has come up, but nonetheless, symbolism here is fate, and it's creationism. Okay, they created the lives of these people in the Greek myths. So I don't know if there's pregnancies or additions to family through this person, or being a mother or father figure to their children, but there could be creationism. And look, to have that come into a relationship means you can create the kind of relationship you want with this person. It's non-conformist. You're breaking free from tradition. It's going to be outside the box. There might be a few things you do that are daring and out of context, maybe to other people, but that's to other people. I want you to know that you really have the luxury to design your own relationship with this person. So I feel like there is significance to that. I do. I don't see it so much as a third party, although there could be an exterior source that can come into the relationship, like an ex, like a job, like a dream. Okay, sometimes things outside of our relationship realm can come in and affect how our relationship develops, or the pacing of it, or if it develops at all. So that might be something to take into consideration here, Sag. But for the most part, I do feel like it is a very fiery, intense relationship that you're about to embark on as your next major relationship. Okay, it's thrill-seeking, it's a roller coaster, it's definitely high energy here. I will leave your reading at that, though, so thank you again for tuning in.